So bombshell revelations came out on Friday evening.
This is just the beginning of what we're finding out on the Sussmann matter, and it doesn't get better with age here. That's the problem.
The biggest scandal was when they spied on my campaign. They spied on my campaign,
There's
Leslie.
no real evidence of that.
Of course there is.
No.
It's all over the place. Leslie,
Sir,
they spied on my campaign and they got caught.
Can I say something? You know, this is 60 Minutes, and we can't put on things we can't verify.
You won't put it on because it's bad for Biden.
We can't put on things we can't verify.
Leslie, they spied on my campaign.
Well, we can't verify
It's been totally verified.
No.
So you got the indicted, you already knew about that, Sussmann. He's an indicted Clinton campaign attorney. Now, he worked for the law firm, the outside firm representing the campaign. Put the dossier to one side. Then they also went to a tech firm. This tech firm had contracts with the federal government.
Right.
So the law firm goes to the tech firm, just like they did with Fusion GPS, said, you guys, we'll keep funding your dossier work with Christopher Steele. But on top of that, the tech firm has this contract from the Obama years to reconcile data from the executive office of the president when it came to, data breaches. They were doing what looked like good faith work. But the tech firm agreed to contract with this law firm to do this. It provided DNS resolution services to the executive office of the president. Tech Executive 1 and his associates exploited this arrangement by mining the executive office of the president. I just want you to understand who we're talking about. We're talking about mining the server within the server of the White House. So not just the White House, the president's server, his closest team's server, the people in the closest to the president. And they did this. The only reason they did this was for the purpose, this is a direct quote, of gathering derogatory information about Donald Trump.
This allegation, these are allegations from the government here, about the surveillance going on as to the candidate Trump and then President Trump. I mean, it was in February that they went back. This is very serious. They were spying on the White House.
In essence, what we have, in my opinion, is collusion. Basically, a conspiracy to create the inference that Donald Trump was doing something wrong.
Yeah.
And this conspiracy arguably includes well-known suspects, including Sussmann, who is essentially related to the Clinton campaign, possibly Mark Elias, Sally Yates, John Comey, Peter Strzok, Hillary Clinton, Jim Baker, and others at the FBI.
This has never come to light until this pleading is filed by John Durham.
I mean, we've talked a lot about, over many, many months about the corruption of the seventh floor of the FBI, people like James Comey and James Baker and Peter Strzok and Lisa Page. But, Jay, even if you fast forward, okay, so Donald Trump wins the election, takes the White House. Remember, this didn't stop. We know that the FBI, under the direction of James Comey, continued to send detailees over to the White House. And, Jay, they were not loyal to the White House. They reported back to the FBI. We're still in litigation over that. So it wasn't even like there was an end point on this, Jay. It continued all the way to when he was the sitting president of the United States.
They're getting this information. It goes to James Baker. He is the general counsel to, let's not forget, James Comey.
I think what we have in front of us is evidence that Jim Baker basically had an individual appear before him with self-incriminatory evidence that his law firm was mining private data. And it strikes me that is prima facie illegal. So why didn't the FBI launch an investigation on the law firm?
You look at this White House now, and it's hard to imagine two FBI agents ending up in the same room. How did that happen?
I sent them. Something I probably wouldn't have done or maybe gotten away with in a more organized investigation, a more organized administration, in the George W. Bush administration, for example, or the Obama administration. There was process. And so if the FBI wanted to send agents into the White House itself to interview a senior official, you would work through the White House counsel, and there'd be discussions and approvals and who would be there. And I thought it's early enough. Let's just send a couple guys over.
Early enough, let's just send a couple of guys over. They don't have their systems in place, and he knew exactly what was going on the entire time. The entire time.
People are saying this is bigger than Watergate. Maybe it will be. But the difference was that Watergate was happening in real time. And it much easier to digest because the time period you're talking about phone calls, tapping, breaking into an office in a physical way. This is breaking into an office.
Spying. Yeah.
This is the same as breaking in. It's the same as the Watergate team breaking into the DNC office at the Watergate. It's the same thing. It's just now you don't have to physically break in anymore. And we all know that. The most important thing we all have is data. And that data then can be utilized because here it was manipulated to look like out of everywhere else in the country, there was way too much Russian activity going on at Trump Tower.